Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to talk about building a data privacy practice for your business. Please remember that data privacy is not an IT subject. IT is an enabler, law is an enabler. Privacy is important even if you are only on paper records, not even using IT for your day-to-day working. What is privacy? Privacy is my right to choose what personal information do I want to share, with whom do I want to share this information, what is my purpose of sharing this information, and can you, getting my information, share this information with the third party? If yes, why and in what circumstances would you share it with the third party? And do you have my consent for sharing it with the third party? That is what data privacy is. Data privacy gives me those rules and laws to protect my interest if in case you have shared my information without my consent, or you have misused, or your third party has misused my information. Now, it is my right. Yes. But if I see you who collected information from me misusing it or wrongly sharing it, then I can apply laws and safeguard my interest, and you might get penalized. It is for this reason that it is important for any business to ensure that whatever data they collect is being taken care of properly, whether it's on paper or whether it's digitized, right? And that is why, based on my knowledge and my research on this subject, I have created a few steps what every business should follow, and is very good for small size businesses who do not have very large setups and cannot afford to have a separate data privacy team, right? What should they do? First of all, they should clear their understanding on what data privacy is. Data privacy is to ensure that you are not sharing or using anyone's personally identifiable information unlawfully. Unlawfully means without consent, without permission of that person. You are using his information, sharing his information with third parties, fourth parties is data privacy. There are other two terms which work along with data privacy, which is like data security, which is to make sure that that information is not accessed by any third party without any authorization. And protection means that that data is always available all the times, right? So if in case the data is required, it is available and can be immediately accessed. That is data protection. And to cover all these three, every business has a responsibility to be accountable for all these three. Accountability. That means that I am responsible for the information that I am collecting from any third party, especially their personal and sensitive personal information. I am responsible for it. I have to ensure that it is not being misused. I have to ensure that it is not getting wrongly shared. Fine? That is the first step. My understanding about data privacy should be clear. Then I should understand what is the data that I am collecting. I am collecting personal information. True, false? Well, every business does. Collect a lot of personal information about the employees, a lot of personal information about the third-party contractors, vendors, customers. These could be their personal details, their family details, depending on how do you want to use them. Their financial details, you need them for your vendors and your employees for sure. And their biometrics, if in case you are using biometrics for authorization or access control in your organization, and their personal preferences, their habits, right? If you are collecting these kind of personal data, then you fall under privacy, and you are collecting these data for some of the other relationships associated with your business. Step 3, what is the purpose of collecting this information? Why is this information collected? We are collecting it from employees. Why? It's an HR function. You need to know their skills, you need to know their family, you need to know their birthdays, you need to know their anniversaries. Did you tell them that you are going to celebrate their birthdays? Some people may not like you celebrating their birthdays or announcing their birthdays to other colleagues. But are they pre-informed that their birthdays would be announced? Vendors informed about their personal information, customers informed about, and other third-party associates. Are you collecting their personal information? Yes. What is your purpose? Tell them this is my purpose, right? Once you have told them what is the purpose, you should document the purpose very clearly and obtain a consent from them that you are okay with the purpose of collecting the information and the processing method which that information would be processed and used. And you should also document any possible risks and how you would mitigate those risks in case there is a eventuality or in case there is an issue. So you should take consent over all these things, and then you should ensure that they are processed safely as per the norms you have set. Your internal team should be sensitized to use the data appropriately. You should perform regular employee trainings on how that information is to be handled. You should tell them about the kind of breaches happening in your industry, out of your industry. You should put in posters in different parts of your organization to remind them on how to use this information. You should tell them and use breach examples and cost of training as a part of and cost of breach as a part of their training material. Details of each of these, what kind of personal information you collect from employees, from vendors, from customers, they are all available on my channel. This is my 19th video on data privacy, so a lot of content is already available, and I'll keep updating more and more, so you can subscribe to the channel and keep yourself updated on it. Open desk culture, again, whether digitized or paper, but a paper on the table, sharing your personal details, by mistake your CV on the table, right? Anyone visiting the table would have an access. You leave your table with your laptop not locked or your PC not locked, anyone can access information available there. Then you need to ensure safe storage also. Safe storage could be digital, non-digital. Non-digital, always locked, especially personal and sensitive information. You would have health records also of your employees, right? That might be sensitive for some people, very sensitive for some people. Fireproof cabinets to ensure that you don't lose them. Maybe some external storage copies, and then keeping a copy in external storage should be another something that item that should be there in your privacy policy and informed to the respected party, right? We'll come to policies as well in a bit details in this video, and of course a lot of videos on privacy notices and policies to come in near future. Digital assets, right? Strong passwords, encryption, authorized access, multi-factor authentications, these things need to be applied for sure for storing any personal information in your organization, and you should have regular backups to protect yourself against loss of any personal information. Then you should define your policy. Define your policy, which is not a copy paste of any other policy, a policy that says, this is the data I collect, this is why I collect it, this is how I'm going to use it, and this is how I'm going to inform you about the usage of your data. From time to time, if there are breaches, I'll inform you so that you can safeguard your interest. From time to time, if I make any policy changes, I'll inform you that I am changing it. And at regular times, especially when I am changing my policies, I'll keep taking your consent for it. So I should define a very clear policy. I should share it with all stakeholders, with all relevant parties. I should have a strong control over third-party contracts with my vendors, with my customers, because I'm sharing or using or storing their personal information as well. And something which is very important, there has to be a clear definition on what action is going to be taken in case a breach is formed. Is it going to be only financial or something beyond financial actions? Publish your policies, setting up the expectations very, very clearly, right? These are certain things that should be a part of your privacy policy and known to everyone. Publish it. Tell it to everyone. Match it with the industry regulations and standards available. Look at what are the best practices within your industry. What are the applicable laws and regulations? Fine tune your policies based on laws applicability. Look for the industry best practices. Fine tune them on the industry best practices. So what are you doing? You are checking your industry best practices. You are checking your geographical laws and practices. And if you are an international service provider, then you should actually check related to all the geographies where you provide service. Because if you are sharing data outside your geography, especially outside your country, then the data sharing method is to be adopted for on the basis of the country where you are sharing your data, on the basis of your consumer who may not be of your country, some other country. His regulation says that his personal information is to be used like this. So you should fine tune your policy from time to time with your industry, with your applicable laws, and with your geography, so that, and in case you find a gap, then you should mitigate those gaps, right? So this is what I had to say about building a privacy practice. I'm going to summarize these steps, and as mentioned earlier, each of these steps have detailed videos on my channel, so you can subscribe to them. Build up your understanding, understand what is privacy and how is it different from security and protection. Build up your accountability. Understand what is the data you collect and how much of personal and sensitive personal data you collect. Define the purpose of collecting that data. Obtain the consent from respective shareholders. Ensure that the data is properly and safely processed and safely stored. Define your policy and share it with the industry standards. Match it up with the industry standards, government regulations, geographical regulations to build up a robust policy with a clear definition on what action are you going to take when you find a breach in your policies. That is what I had to talk about, building up basic data privacy policies. This is how I understand it, and I recommend you to look into it, especially for large companies who cannot really afford a large data privacy department kind of a thing. This could be a good guideline for them, the smaller companies, to begin with and grow. As they grow, they can build up their departments and take international recommendations. Data privacy does not say you need to use some softwares or you need to use IT. It simply says your data and your data that you collected as personal information with anyone associated with your organization is being handled properly, follows the guidelines for the industry, for the geography, and best practices for the industry and the geography. I hope you like my content. If in case you like my content, please press the like and comment button, subscribe to my channel, and please share your feedback in the comment section. Thank you.